The New England Patriots come to Pittsburgh's Three Rivers Stadium feeling pretty good. They earned their first win of 1983 a week earlier, impressively beating the Jets behind the record-breaking running of Tony Collins. The Patriots are known as a conservative ball control team. Yet in Steve Grogan and Stanley Morgan, number 86, they possess one of the best deep passing combinations in the league. Second-year head coach Ron Meyer is looking for more consistency from his young Patriot squad and has called this game the biggest in his short NFL coaching career. But veteran All-Pro linebacker Jack Lambert is not much interested in helping Meyer build a winner, and he will no doubt play his usual outstanding game for the Steelers. The Patriots will also have to contend with Franco Harris and his pursuit of O.J. Simpson. Harris needs only 34 yards against New England to pass Simpson for second place on the NFL's all-time rushing list. Harris has gotten off to an excellent start this season, and with Cliff Stout replacing an injured Terry Bradshaw at quarterback for Pittsburgh, he has once again become the focus of a Steelers offense that leads the NFL in rushing. The Steelers have won 2 straight on the road, returning home to meet a Patriots team that's looking to win its second straight. With Franco Harris ready to make NFL history, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots in the NFL Game of the Week. On the game's initial possession, the Steelers used their ground game almost exclusively. Their first 8 plays from scrimmage were runs, 3 by second-year back Walter Abercrombie, and 5 by Franco Harris, number 32. The Steelers were not overpowering New England, but they were knocking out 5, 6, 7 yards at a time. When Stout looked to confuse the Patriots by throwing, he too found that running the ball was the best way to go. Stout picked up 22 yards down to the New England 15-yard line. On the next play, the Steelers quarterback again gave the ball to Harris, who cut inside for 14 more, down to the Patriots 1. A penalty and 2 more running plays left Pittsburgh 3 yards short on 3rd down. But the Steelers ended the march with 6 when Stout rolled left and hit Calvin Sweeney, number 85, for the touchdown. The Steelers began the game by going 71 yards in 15 plays, controlling the ball for nearly 7 minutes. Pittsburgh's ball control offense would continue to dominate the first half. But for now, the Steelers led 7-0. Their next possession, however, produced a totally different result. Stout's pass was intercepted by Steve Nelson, number 57, who lateraled the ball to teammate Clayton Wysoon, number 53, and Wysoon easily scored to tie the game at 7. With 4 minutes still to play in the first quarter, the Steelers had run 19 plays from scrimmage to the Patriots 4, yet the score was all even. One big play by New England's defense had changed the early look of the game. Following the kickoff, Franco Harris changed the course of NFL history. Harris ran around right end for 11 yards, and in so doing passed O.J. Simpson as the NFL's second all-time leading rusher with 11,237 yards. It was simply another milestone in the remarkably consistent and durable career of the Steelers' number 32. Harris was Pittsburgh's first-round draft choice in 1972. And in his rookie year, he gained over 1,000 yards, averaging close to 6 yards a carry. But more importantly, he led the Steelers to their first division title ever. And Harris and the Steelers have not slowed down since. The Steelers have not had a losing season with Harris as their fullback and count 4 Super Bowl championships among their accomplishments. Individually, Harris has rushed for over 1,000 yards 7 times in his 11 seasons, sharing that mark with Jim Brown. But it's likely that he will stand alone in the record books following 1983, as he is well on his way to his 8th 1,000-yard campaign. 12 years of artfully probing NFL defenses have made Harris one of the greatest runners pro football has ever seen. While Harris's accomplishments have earned him a place among the NFL's immortals, Cliff Stout was merely trying to help Pittsburgh win a game. And if he couldn't do it with his arm, well, then he'd use his legs. Two Stout scrambles accounted for 25 yards as the Steelers put together another time-consuming drive. Again, Stout brought them to the New England 3-yard line, and on the 16th play of the drive, he tried the same play that produced the Steelers' first touchdown. This time, a strong rush forced Stout to throw the ball out of the end zone. And the Steelers, despite holding the ball for over 9 minutes, had to settle for a Gary Anderson field goal and a 10-7 second quarter lead. Five minutes into the second quarter, and Patriots quarterback Steve Grogan had been on the field for 3 plays, yet his team trailed by only 3 points. But the Steelers did not allow Grogan the chance to get on track, as number 56, Robin Cole, swooped in to put an end to New England's second possession of the game. This was not Jack Lambert's kind of game. He had only been on the field for 6 plays, and it was midway through period 2. But Pittsburgh's intense veteran would be back out there sooner than he expected, for Stout immediately made his second errant toss of the half. Number 25, Rick Sanford, picked off Stout's pass, and the Patriots, strangely enough given Pittsburgh's dominance in time of possession, had a chance to tie or go ahead late in the second quarter. Grogan, operating behind a strong offensive line, had plenty of time to seek out newcomer Derek Ramsey, number 88, for 31 yards, as the Patriots, with one big play, were inside Pittsburgh's 20-yard line. 2 plays later, Grogan, again with an incredible amount of time to throw, saw Stanley Morgan in the end zone and rifled a bullet between the defense. Jack Lambert's crunching hit jarred the ball loose, and the pass was ruled incomplete. The Patriots did not take advantage of that opportunity, but moments later, another Grogan pass into the end zone found its mark. Derek Ramsey's second catch as a Patriot was good for a touchdown, and New England took the lead 14-10 with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Ramsey, after leading the Raiders in receiving in 1981, was relegated to the bench a year ago and welcomed the trade that sent him to New England. On the touchdown, he was man-to-man against a linebacker, and he beat him by a stride, hauling in Grogan's perfectly thrown pass. The Patriots had jumped ahead 14-10 in a very strange first half. Pittsburgh had the ball for most of the half, in fact for 23 of the 30 minutes, and moved it well. But 2 interceptions prevented the Steelers from taking control where it counts, on the scoreboard. A last-second field goal by Gary Anderson made the halftime score New England 14, Pittsburgh 13. As Steve Grogan assembled the troops to begin the second half, he and his teammates had to feel pretty lucky. New England had been soundly whipped by Pittsburgh statistically, with a net total of 58 yards to the Steelers' 228. Yet the Pats had a 1-point lead and threatened to extend that margin on their very first drive. Rookie Stephen Starring, number 81, made the first of several big catches. Then Grogan used more modest gains to breathe additional life into New England's most sustained march of the game. Then running back Tony Collins, number 33, capped the 5.5-minute procession with a scoring burst up the middle, and the Patriots' lead swelled to 8. Last week against the Jets, Collins rushed for a team record 212 yards. Very impressive. But even though Collins would not come close to such a number against Pittsburgh, he may have surpassed himself in another way, with one of the great high-five processionals in recent football memory. Following Tony's Triple Crown and New England's most disciplined possession of the afternoon, Pittsburgh responded by returning to the running game that had served them well in the first half. But that cut no ice with the Patriots' defense, which now seemed ready to handle almost anything. Number 56, Andre Tippett and friends, stalled stout in the Steelers. So Grogan returned, looking for more of Stephen Starring. And the rookie was there, right at the top of the marquee. This catch bears repeating because Starring beat one of football's finest pass defenders, Dwayne Woodruff, number 49. The Steeler cornerback did everything a defensive back is supposed to do. Yet the rookie from McNeese State beat him anyway. Unfortunately for New England, a penalty negated the completion, killing the drive. But with Pittsburgh unable to move, the Pats were soon rolling again with another rookie receiver, Clarence Weathers, number 82. This time, though, Pittsburgh stiffened and shut down the Patriots' ground game, then forced Grogan into one of his few real mistakes of the afternoon. Only number 47, Mel Blount, was in the area of the pass, and the 14-year vet was not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. In the early moments of the fourth quarter, Blount's interception sparked the previously drowsy Steelers. Stout went to work with short passes, and the result would be Pittsburgh's first scoring play since the second period. Calvin Sweeney picked up key yardage, but then on third down, a rattling good hit from Clayton Wysoon kept number 81, Paul Scansey, from getting enough yards for a first. Once more, the Pats had given up good yardage, yet still held the fort. Pittsburgh had to settle for Gary Anderson's third field goal of the day, trimming the lead to 5. 9 minutes now remained in the game, and the Patriots pondered the possibility of holding on just a little longer. True, they had been outgained, but they still were ahead. Yet keeping that lead in Three Rivers Stadium, where the Steelers are nearly invincible, would not be a simple task. The Steelers had more than just a ray of hope going for them in their quest to regain the lead. They had the man of the hour, Franco Harris, to move against the Patriot defense. Harris gained 106 yards on the day, his third consecutive century performance of 83, and he caught 6 passes to boot to help the Steeler cause. All in all, it was a game to be framed and hung on the wall for the new number 2 rusher of all time. But now there was a ball game to win, and it would be Franco's heir apparent, Walter Abercrombie, and a scrambling Stout who made that outcome a little more plausible. It was the first time in his pro career that Stout had thrown 2 touchdown passes in a game. And so charged up was the Steeler quarterback that the other hero of the play, Walter Abercrombie, was inadvertently sidetracked from the celebration. But Walter and the Steelers dusted themselves off and looked at a scoreboard that now read more to their liking. But not even Evelyn Wood could read at the speed the scoreboard was going at just moments later. With a sudden lunge for Pittsburgh's jugular, Steve Grogan and Stephen Starring teamed up one more time, and this time it was a knockout punch. Starring's very first pro reception had been a 73-yard touchdown play. That had probably made the folks at McNeese State very proud. But now a 76-yarder that had the look of a game-winning play loomed even larger. This was no deep bomb for Starring to simply run under and grab. It was some smooth shimmying around Pittsburgh's defense that earned Stephen, if you'll pardon the expression, a starring role. The Patriots now led by 5, but it was not quite yet time for New England to break open the champagne and don party hats. Starring made the unintentional error of scoring too soon. Nearly 4 minutes remained, plenty of time for Pittsburgh. But then the Patriots defense rose to play its best football of the afternoon. Rick Sanford killed one drive with his second interception of the game. But after some pushing and shoving, the Steeler defense tightened too, and New England could go nowhere. Now barely 2 minutes remained, and Stout had to take his team 80 yards. First, he tried for all of it at once, but the Patriots secondary said no. Then linebacker Don Blackman, number 55, and his business associates broke into the passing pocket twice, and the Steelers went reeling backwards. finally on 4th and 20. Stout was dropped for the last time. This pin going to newly acquired Doug Rogers, number 65. Time ran out on the Steelers as they lost to New England for only the second time ever. What began as Franco Harris's coronation had ended as a bitter upset loss for Pittsburgh. But for the young New England Patriots, it was their second surprise victory in as many weeks. A glance at the final statistics was very revealing. Pittsburgh had nearly doubled the Patriots' totals in time of possession, first downs, net yardage, you name it. But New England made big plays in crunch time and showed some big heart, too. The Patriots weren't expected to challenge for the playoffs in 1983. But now, such thinking may have to be revised. In a stunner, New England 28, Pittsburgh 23.